Hey, welcome to kind of late night meditation hour. And I'm sure people in America are probably retiring to bed and whatnot. And I was delaying this meditation hour for past 5 hours. And the reason I was doing that was because I'm an addict. I am addicted to watching good TV shows and movies. And it has been an addiction since I was a little. And plenty of times I know that what I'm doing is not the best course of action in the moment, but I still do it. So there you go. I confess. I know I can be better than this, and I have been better in the past year or so. I was a serial TV watcher, I guess. I used to watch or binge watch for hours. And even now, I still do that at times, but I've got much better at it. So today was, in a way, relapse. And the TV show I watched was good. So, um, you know, that's probably one of the reason why I continue to watch it till the entire season end. Uh, but that being said, I'm just saying it out loud because this kind of make me confess that's where my time and energy has been spent for past few hours, and what I should do to mitigate that. One of the strategies I had a while back was to have a cheat day for TV shows and whatnot. So I was thinking of, like, uh, restraining myself from watching anything for the entire week and have one day a week where I can binge watch anything I want. If I want, I can just start watching it in the morning and all the way till midnight, or not even like get out of bed. Uh, that lasted maybe for two rounds, and after that, I was back into watching some show. And part of that is because of this lack of doing something else. I mean, I have these rituals which I do, and like at times I tend to kind of push it towards the end of the day, like this meditation, as well as the journaling and reading 10 pages of book, which I have to do before I go to bed. So pushing all of this late in the day changes my timetable altogether. And I know I will end up sleeping at around 2, and I don't know when I'll wake up tomorrow, and that's a whole different uh, hell of its own. But in general, I'm a night owl, so this kind of sort of align with my personality. Uh, Plenty of times I wake up early, like today. Woke up at like 8ish, and even though I had like maybe 6 hours of sleep last night, or 7 hours, and that is very less for me. I want to have at least 8 hours of sleep. Otherwise, at times I feel that I'm not satisfied with my sleep altogether, and that's the feeling I had earlier today when I woke up. And still, towards the end of the day, I'm super pumped, super energized, and I can stay awake till, say, 2 a.m. without any problem. So I am a night owl for sure. So that's my personality. So I'm not gonna try to fight it. I can be better at it for sure, and that's also important for anybody who want to be successful in their personal life. They have to know their personality type. What makes you feel, I would say, energized? What drives you? So there are different practices, different hobbies, different passions. There are different times, depending on if you're a night owl or early bird. So either way, and it's a process of self discovery in a lot of sense, and I feel like days like these when I know what I did and I know what I should have done, uh, kind of shows me that I still have a lot of room to improve, and I do have a lot of room to improve. I'm like nobody at this point. And even if I am somebody in my head because of my ego talk, still it's not acceptable in some sense to give into some of these vices. I have a lot of addiction to begin with, but over past year, I got much, much, much better with almost all of my addictions. But this watching TV or movies, it has been one of my passions since I was a kid. And I guess it will take a while to unwind that pattern. That being said, if I'm out there, if I'm, let's just say, doing my regular thing, like if everything were normal out there and if I'm doing my open mic, then I don't have that drive at all. And I may watch like one show here and there, but not like a binge watch an entire show. So there are a lot of other factors which I get it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm a bit compassionate towards myself. And that's important too, because if you want to change yourself and if you are hard on yourself, then you're adding this unnecessary friction. But if you work with yourself, almost treat yourself as a different individual and then observe yourself doing whatever you're doing and falling into those older patterns, if you will, and then you would be able to use circumstances in your favor. So like once in a while, if you relapse, that's fine because it's not hurting anyone. It's just pushing my other rituals late in the night, and that's fine. It's not damaging to anybody, first of all, and not even to me. So it's okay. It's one of those vices which is fine as long as it's in control. But I see a lot of people do this with food, with cigarette, with alcohol, with sugar, with sex, with any other sort of vice, and there is a fine boundary between healthy and unhealthy, because these are all life's pleasure, and I feel that since I choose to live a pleasureful life, up to a certain degree, all of this is okay, as long as I'm in control and tuning the fine balances between the healthy and the unhealthy addiction to anything. And that's one of the other reasons why I like to meditate, because during this meditation practice, it helps me to unwind some of these addictions and kind of talk to myself, subconscious, because when you're meditating or in deep relaxation state, you open up a channel to talk to your subconscious. And when you're in that state, then you would be able to program your mind. So it could be programming in the sense of deprogramming from the past addictions, or programming in the sense of creating new patterns of behaviors which will help you to move closer to your overall goal or overall vision. So it's one of those interesting opportunities we have as humans to talk or reprogram our subconscious. And that's one of the reasons why people who need help, who feel helpless and trapped within their negative cycles, find greater sense of relief when they go to hypnotherapists, because that's what hypnotherapist does. They put you into this relaxed state where your subconscious mind is open to take suggestions. And once you're aware of those suggestions, so it's not that anybody can give you some wrong suggestion and you will go on that path. However, there are a lot of scientific experiments done on humans by CIA back in 1950s or so, which I'm blanking on the exact operation they did, and actually trained people against their will. So there are substances which they induced to the people and then trained their subconscious against their will. So that kind of goes on to say that our brains, our mind are so programmable that when you get to hack into your own system, I'm not there yet, but once you get to the point where you can hack into your own system, then you discover a different level of, I can say, control, or a different level of power to reprogram yourself, reprogram your mindset, which shifts your beliefs altogether. And in a lot of sense, these beliefs are very, very, very strong, because belief is something which drives your body and mind towards that belief. So that's one of the reasons why placebo effect or nocebo effect are very successful, because when people believe that a sugar pill can cure their whatever disease, when they believe it from all of their core, then something in their mind and body shifts, and it actually triggers their mind and body to change their body chemistry and actually help them to get over whatever the sickness they are feeling. So belief is one of the most powerful tool which we all have any given time. But the trouble with belief is actually believing, because you can believe that, I don't know, that you're most whatever. And if you just try to reaffirm yourself by affirmation and whatnot, it doesn't work, unless you believe it to the core. And that's why it's very important to understand your own belief system as well, and how you operate in a lot of sense. So once you look within and get to know yourself better, then you'll be able to, again, train or program yourself to your ideal self. Yeah, it's I've been actually reading this book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and I'm on chapter 4 right now. So it's very similar to some of the other things which you might have heard, if you have heard the law of attraction, The Secret, and how you can retrain your subconscious by giving a vision to it, and then actually believing that you're living that vision of yours, and then being grateful for that life itself. So it is a really powerful tool for sure. I feel that I manifested, or I was able to manifested some of the events very recently using those tools, where I was practicing this visualization uh, for multiple times a day, and also I was practicing it with, the core, because I was living in that reality. I was believing that reality, and to the core that whenever I was journaling at times in my gratitude journal, I actually write that specific event already happened, and to my surprise, it actually came true. And I can say that it's a coincidence, but it has happened quite a few times in throughout my life to kind of just rub it as a coincidence. But at the very least, even if it's all is a coincidence, then I still have this strong experience that uh, just by tuning myself and believing into something, like for an example, my ideal life, if that's actually is manifesting, that's awesome. And even if it's not manifesting, I have nothing to lose. I'm still visualizing the ideal place I want to be, and I'm being grateful. So regardless, it's not hurting me in any way. In a way, it's a delusion for sure, but at the same time, I'm aware of that delusion. It's not that somebody tricked me into believing a god, and I deluded myself into believing a god, which may or may not exist. But the point is, like, when I'm aware of the delusion or beliefs I'm creating for myself, and I'm okay with that, because I would rather be in a peaceful, grateful state with self-aware delusion than in a miserable place with a current crisis, for an example. And moreover, it like just living that vision temporarily, and visualizing it, being grateful for it, make me feel calmer and peaceful. And also, what I try to do is like visualize 5 years down the road. So I'm not running into any desperation, because I know I have enough time to make that visualization fructitious. And also, I'm not attached to the current crisis, because I'm not coming from a mindset that, hey, not having a job right now, how I'm gonna end up making my vision manifest 5 years from now. Because I know life has this, waves, ups and downs, and I'm right now experiencing this downward spiral, I guess, and it will be followed by the uptrend for sure, because that's how life works. So my new attitude is, whenever you're facing through crisis, just prepare yourself for the upward trend, because that's how life works. They're going to be good and bad. So whenever you're going through bad circumstances, prepare yourself for the good circumstances. So when you do hit the peak of your good situation or circumstance, you are already the person to take the best advantage at that vantage point. So that's what I feel right now. For the past 2 months, I've been preparing, and I'm gonna continue to do this for the rest of my life with my rituals. And just by preparing itself, give me satisfaction, calmness, and peacefulness. That this waves and ups and downs, these are all temporary. It's here today. It won't be there tomorrow. It will be there day after tomorrow, but the day after that, it won't be. So it's all right, everything is temporary and everything is all right. So a lot of this is to justify all the um, all the things which I did today. I guess I'm just talking myself into feeling better because I wouldn't say wasted, but I spent my time for the past 4 or 5 hours watching a TV show which have very little value to add in my life. It does have entertainment value for sure, but at the same time, I know that I could have held on to that entertainment by first completing my rituals and then maybe watching that TV show and even uh, fall to sleep with that. Uh, but regardless, it's okay to feel moments like these. And again, going back to my previous point, to be compassionate towards oneself and just knowing that there will be times when you will fall short of your expectations, and instead of giving yourself hard times, sometimes hard times helps too, but generally speaking, just be compassionate to yourself and just learn from it and move on. And I don't know how much I'm going to learn from this. I might binge watch some other TV show 5 days from now, who knows. Because there are so many good TV shows, I can tell you. There was a point in my life when I was so grateful for the abundant TV shows out there that I can watch maybe one TV show, all of its season for days, and have that uh, good instant gratification going for days. In some sense, it is sort of drug because instead of taking something from outside, well, chemically inducing yourself with a drug, you're producing these hormones within yourself when you're watching these TV shows. Sometimes it's adrenaline rush if you're watching thriller and mystery. Sometimes it's a dopamine rush if you're watching some good comedy drama, I guess. And all the other hormones depending on what kind of show you're watching. So So, bottom line, it's okay to binge watch anything once in a while. And the main important point is to still wrap up what you committed, or wrap up your commitment, fulfill your commitment. That's one of the reason why, like I said earlier, I'm meditating this late at night, because this is my ritual. All right, so with that note, I'm gonna set an alarm for an hour from now, which will be past midnight. And then, like I said, gonna be 2 more hours after that completing all my rituals. So it's gonna be a long night for me. What happened to this? Awesome. All right, so everything is set, and I will see you in an hour. Thanks for joining me for this hour-long meditation ride. Until next time, peace.